First ad I answered, I agreed to meet this guy. We met at like a 7-Eleven, and I just parked my car there. I got in his car. I know nothing about this guy. He drives me to his office, which is closed, but he's got keys to where he works. So we're just in this dark office building, and he wants a blow job, and I do it, and then he takes me back to 7-Eleven. He paid me, and there I go. It was gross.
Do you agree upon like money beforehand, or you have to wait till you see each other in person?
We did agree. Now, after a while, after I got some regulars, it was sort of like a sugar daddy type thing. Like, it was more like not such a, you give me this for this.
Yeah.
It was more like, you call me and I'll come, and like, you take care of me and give me whatever, But we aren't there yet. So I got a few regulars. I did get a foot guy. I did. He was a really nice guy, actually. He had a girlfriend, but she thought it was creepy. And so...
So look at like your feet or something?
Yeah. Oh, he was all about... I learned how to do things with my feet that I didn't know you could do with your feet. Yeah.
Hey, Lou, I've got a story I want to share on the podcast. How do I do that?
Well, you can email us at getagrippodcast614@gmail.com or fill out the form filling our link tree.
What about if I just want to show our boys some love and support the podcast?
You can follow us at official Get a Grip Podcast on TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook to follow our short clips, or YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts for our long forms. We're also on iHeartRadio. We're everywhere.
What about a behind-the-scenes look at Get a Grip Podcast?
Snapchat's the place for that.
I heard all the kids are doing it.
Smash that like button and subscribe.
Boop.
All right, welcome back to another podcast of Get a Grip. Holy f***.
Take two! Bro, you didn't even get to the name and where she's from. Yeah, dog.
Welcome back to another episode of Get a Grip Podcast. Today we have Kimberly Ferrizzi from Port St. Lucie, Florida. Thank you so much for coming.
Bastard.
I'm glad to be here.
Much appreciated. How was the flight?
Well, I hate flying, so it wasn't great, but we didn't crash, so it's a success.
So you're safe and
Yeah.
sound.
That's a win, I guess.
Perfect. Well, we're going to dive right in.
Okay.
So let's start with childhood and tell us how that went for you.
All right. So I was a late bloomer with drugs, but I can look back at my childhood and definitely see the behaviors as long as I can remember. I do have addiction running in my family. My dad's dad was an alcoholic. My dad was an alcoholic. And my mother's father was a doctor back in like the 40s and 50s. So he had access to everything. So the stories are that about once a year, he would go on vacation to dry out and then come back. So from what I understand, he was on pills and alcohol and the whole deal. So
Wow.
that's kind of interesting. Yeah. So like,
I'm sure in that time and age, it was very fucking easy.
oh, I'm sure. So yeah, I'm from a white middle class family. I'm the oldest. I have a little sister, like nothing exciting. It's not like this horrible thing happened to me and now that's why I'm an addict. I was just always selfish and self-centered. Not that it was obvious because we're chameleons and I was a chameleon even back then. I could be what you wanted me to be. I was a straight A student.
Did you have to try?
No.
No.
I did not have
That's
to.
how
It's
kind of how
disgusting.
I was. It's
Yeah.
kind of how I was.
Yeah, I was a big reader, big into like fantasy, escape. I didn't feel a part of, which is so common.
Yep.
But at the same time, I kind of had that thing where like, I think I'm way better than you and I'm also way worse than you at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yep.
it's weird. Like, oh, I wish I could be like her. At the same time, I'm so much better than the rest of you. There's one thing that kind of sticks in my mind that probably contributed. My grandmother, after my grandpa passed, she got remarried, and I was probably like 11 or 12 or something like that. And they were babysitting me, and he made an attempt to molest me. And thankfully, my parents had taught me, to stand up for myself and all that. So I did get away from the situation, but I accused him and nobody believed me. And we had to have like a whole family meeting. And why would you say that about your grandfather? And I just don't understand, that's such a terrible thing to say, and like I still to this day kind of have this, like, I need you to believe me. I need you to, like, you need to believe me. Yeah, I have to remember that, like, my truth is my truth.
Right.
So, I felt like I needed to be perfect. My parents never told me I had to get straight A's. It's just
So common. I feel like it's so common with alcoholics for some weird reason.
perfectionism.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my parents also really encouraged me. They'd be like, "Oh, well, you're better than him. You're better than that." And I know they were trying to encourage me and build me up, but what I heard was probably not what they were trying to give me.
Did they gossip about neighbors?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean,
That's how my parents were too. Like, oh, such and such is this, and such
yes.
is that, and we're better than them.
Yes. Currently, my mother has decided that her neighbors are make meth in their house. Like they probably don't, but she's convinced.
That's funny.
And so I always thought I needed a boyfriend. Like required a boyfriend. And I mean, that's just from young. And so in 8th grade, I met the one. I was 14 and he was 15. And, by then I had learned to be very manipulative, as many addicts are. He was a very sweet, loving, kind young man. And I was kind of a bully and got what I wanted. We dated for 6 years and then we got married.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah. And he got the call to be a minister. Which before that, we'd been like breaking into hotels and fucking on dates and all that stuff. But then he got the call, so everything had to change. And I was living a dual life at that point because like I was the good girl at home. I was the kid that everybody wanted their kids to hang out with. But then I also had this other life with him where we did some drinking and stuff. We never got it. I mean, just like normal stuff. So I continued to be this manipulative person that I wanted him to rescue me, fix my problems. I don't know how to do this. Do it for me. I felt very entitled. I really was like a princess. But then I also had that dual life. Like I could totally play the like minister's wife thing to a T. So I became a minister's wife. We didn't start having kids till we'd been married for 5 years. I could do the Bible studies and the vacation Bible school and
you dove into all that, huh?
Well, I'm an addict. Like if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it all the way, right?
Yeah, fair enough.
So, and it's not that it was all a lie for me, but at the same time, it was very much this is what he's doing, so I'm gonna do it too. This is what he believes, so I'm gonna believe it too. Not really having as much of my own, like, this is what I believe, this is what I think, this is who I am, not really being able to own myself as an individual.
Right.
Having to be identified through, in this case, my husband. And that's what gave me value because I was the pastor's wife. I wasn't as much like Kimberly.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Right.
Of course, I didn't realize any of that at the time. I never learned how to adult. I got married I was living with my parents, and then I got married and moved in with my husband. So I never lived independently. I always had somebody helping me. So that was all I knew. I wanted him to go to the grocery store with me to get groceries. I went like all the things. So we started having kids after about 5 years. Well, the adulting thing was an issue with parenting. Like, it was scary. Being a parent was adulting. And, like, I didn't know how to do that shit. On top of that, the drugs are just starting to creep in. I had been given some prescriptions for migraines early on, like late teenager, early 20s. I was 20 when I got married. And I was taking them as prescribed. But you know how that goes with addicts. So I do remember after I had my first son, and that was in 98, I remember I had taken all the Percocet, I had a C-section. I had taken all the Percocet, and I happened to run into a friend of mine who had had a baby not too long ago, and I was like, hey, do you have any more of those pills that the doctor gave you? Now that made sense to me, but
Right.
looking back, I'm like, oh, that was some addict behavior right
Yeah.
there. But still, like, I was still taking things pretty much as prescribed. So I had 2 more kids. So I had 3 kids, like, under the age of 5, which is already a
All
lot.
the same time.
Yeah.
Jeez, Pete's, man.
And one of them was mildly autistic, or is mildly autistic. And I just, being an adult, was just, like, I was not cut out for that. Like, I needed my husband's help for everything. I thought I did. Like, I was afraid to take my kids shopping, like, just load the kids up and go somewhere. Like, that's just beyond me. Like, I don't know. I was scared of everything. And fear is, is a thread running through my life. Like, even to this day, that's one of the biggest things I deal with is fear. So I was afraid of everything. I wasn't like, you know what? Like, I don't know how to do this and it might be hard, but I'm just going to do it anyway. Like that,
Right.
that wasn't there for me. So, I still had the migraine headaches, and I still, from time to time, was like, they did, like, I don't know if you remember, like, Fioricet, barbiturates, some of that kind
yeah.
of stuff. But, it still manageable. I can look back and, like, see, like, I was thinking of this the other day. Sometimes I would let a migraine get worse before I took the pain meds because of how much I enjoyed the relief of the pain going away.
Yeah, that
so,
makes sense.
the worse the pain is, the better the relief is. And it's not like that was conscious in my head, but, like, looking back, I recognize that.
Right.
Then that's not normal. Normal people don't do that. So I started getting more regular, like, monthly prescriptions for pain medications because my migraines had gotten worse. I was probably having some rebound migraines and stuff. I mean, looking back, obviously. And so I was getting a prescription every month. I saw, like, a pain doctor. And I remember one day telling my husband, you know what? I didn't take any pain meds today. Huh. So it had gotten to where I was taking them often enough that having a day that I didn't take them was unusual.
Right.
Again, but I didn't see the red flag there.
Do you feel any withdrawal?
Not yet. But I mean, I wasn't running out of them either.
Right.
Yet.
What are they prescribing you? Just like Vicodins or some Percocets?
By that point, I was on Perk 5s.
Okay.
And now I was in Florida, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the pill mills and that kind of thing, because I did catch the tail end of that. But, like, I remember telling my doctor, well, these Perk 5s you're giving me, like, I have to take 2 at a time, so why don't you just write me for Perk 10s? So they just wrote me for the same amount, but Perk 10, so now I'm getting double.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and looking back, I'm like, were you stupid? Like, I don't understand. But, it just wasn't a big deal. And so I was taking them more regularly, but I wasn't running out, so I was still okay. I remember my husband telling the kids, like, Mommy's sick, because, the nodding out and stuff, like, was becoming more common, like, even at church sometimes, but, like, everybody knew Kimberly has migraines, and, like, poor Kimberly, and, like,
Right.
I was very much a victim, which many of us addicts are cool with being a victim.
Yeah.
So that worked for me. And I have no idea at this point that addiction is creeping into my life. Like, I'm clueless. So the first time that I was dope sick, we had gone to Jacksonville to visit some friends, and I had pills when I left. And I was taking them on the visit, and then I ran out. I wasn't, like, I wasn't on enough yet to be, like, the really violently ill that comes later. But I was not right. Like, something wasn't right. Well, the friends we were visiting, the husband, he was a doctor. And I think it's really unfortunate how many doctors are just not very well educated about addiction.
Right.
And I don't blame him at all. He was young. He was a new doctor, and a lot of doctors still don't know to this day. But he did recognize that I was in withdrawal, and he told me that. And I was horrified because it was the first time there was any thought of being addicted to something. And I was just like, you're telling me I'm addicted to this? Like, that's not acceptable. I'm not doing, like, I'm done. I'm never taking them again. This is terrible. So we went back home, and I got a migraine like a few days later, and we called our doctor friend, and I was like, what do I do? I have this migraine. I can't take this medicine because, like, I'm not going to be an addict. I'm not.
Right.
You know, and so I'm determined I'm not going to take this. And this is what he said. Like, God bless him. This is all he knew. He said, well, if you're in that much pain, then you need to take them. And to me, that just gave me permission. Like, that was it.
Yep.
I was like, oh, well, I'm in pain. I need to take them. I'm not an addict. I'm in pain and I need to take them. So right back where I was, starting to get more and more unmanageable.
Are you eating them or how are you taking them?
I'm eating them.
Just eating them like regular.
Like, I'm not an addict, dude. Like,
so you're not chewing them up or anything?
Yeah, I probably was starting to chew them up actually, but like I was legit because I was getting them from a doctor.
Yeah,
like, I'm not a junkie.
No, you're just in pain,
right? So, but as we always do, eventually we get to the point where the prescription just isn't going to last. And, there's addicts outside of the church. There's addicts inside of the church. There's drug dealers. It's the same. And so I found someone in the church that hooked me up with her neighbor who sold their pills. And, my justification is these are the same pills that the doctor prescribes me. So it's not wrong because that's what I get from the doctor anyway.
Right.
It's not like I'm a junkie, like getting street drugs or anything. So I was okay with that. My husband, God bless him, he had no idea what was going on. So I started buying pills from the neighbor to supplement what I was getting from the doctor. And that worked for a while. But of course, the tolerance increases too, right? And I remember one time the lady gave me Lortab. That's all she had. And dude, I had to take like 13 of them. And all that buffer, I was in my kids' school parking lot to pick them up for school. I took 13 Lortabs, puked them up, scooped up the puke.
Oh, yeah.
Because, dude, you can't waste that shit.
No, that's good.
You can't waste that shit, because I don't know where I'm going to be able to get more.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you just scoff it back down, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I learned how to cold water extract, stuff like that.
Get the acetaminophen out.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on, what?
Yeah.
Yep. I don't on like Vicodin and Percocet.
Yep.
Yeah,
anything with acetaminophen.
You get that buffer, that acetaminophen and stuff out. It's
how the hell do you do that?
Do you want me to tell you?
Cold water extraction.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It, you put it in a spoon? Like I've never even heard of this.
I used a Tupperware and put it in my fridge. Nobody knew what it was.
And then what?
Use a coffee filter, right?
No, I just let it settle. Because it'll separate on its own.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because addicts are smart. I'm going online. I'm figuring out how this works. How many of this can I take and how do I do this and because that's what we do.
Never in a million years. Yeah, I was just.
Well, you got to drink that shit. It's kind of gross, but who cares?
I don't give a shit.
I mean, I remember.
It's better for your liver too.
Well, that was my thought. Hey, I'm taking care of myself, right?
Wow. Yeah. Mind blown.
I'm not throwing that shit up anymore. Yeah. So we get to a point where I need more. And so then I meet my first real dope man. My friend that initially hooked me up with her neighbor, she was like, yeah, she told me where to go. She's like, you go down this dirt road and you ask for Pappy and he'll hook you, tell him Cupcake sent you and all right. And, so I'm desperate and so I go down the road and it's funny how brave we can be when we need what we need. I can't fucking load up my kids and go to the grocery store.
Yeah, I'll go in a weird part of town though.
Right? With scary people that I don't know and but that's how it is.
How do you fund these? Because your husband's the only one with income, right?
Yes. So, my in-laws at the time gave us part of his inheritance ahead of time. It was $250,000.
Okay.
And so we did the right thing. We tithe. Do you know what tithe is? Where you give 10%. Yeah. So we took 10%, bought this whole playground set for the church. And then we, went and invested for college funds for our kids. We did all those good things, but we still had a good chunk of money left. And it was just sitting there in savings, and
So you're just dipping in the
I'm
savings?
just dipping in. If he starts asking questions, then I'll get cash back at the grocery store.
Yep.
Again, I'm not stealing or anything yet. Like, I'm using our money, stealing from myself, basically.
Just out of morbid curiosity, what does a pastor make? What kind of money do they make?
Well, I mean, it depends on the kind of denomination you're in. My husband was United Methodist, so part of your salary package is they provide you a furnished home.
Okay.
They pay some of your utilities, like gas, even though
you're not making as much,
right? But
you're not paying mortgage or
exactly.
Any of that shit.
So it's pretty decent. The package together like that, it's pretty decent.
I was always curious about that.
Yeah. Yeah, so we had a decent house. I didn't have to worry about it. We weren't going to lose the house or any of that stuff.
Right.
So I'm dipping into that, and because it's getting pricey. At that point, I discovered blues.
The 30s.
I was like, oh, I don't have to stick with just perk 10s. Like they make something more. So I went straight to blues, which I thought was just wonderful. That was amazing. And then
Did you get those from Pappy?
Yeah, I got them from Pappy. Yep. That shit was expensive as fuck. Oh, let me tell you about the pill mill. Because I'm still going to doctors. Like, I'm not going to drop that, because if I can still get more from doctors, obviously, right? And the church gave us great insurance, so that shit I get for free.
Oh, yeah.
So
it's a no-brainer.
Right. So, the regular doctors, like the ones that actually gave a fuck, they were starting to catch on with what was going on, what I was doing, right? So then I have to start like searching, doing my research. So I found a pill mill outside of Orlando, and I would go to them every month. I mean, it was a straight up pill mill. The waiting room, I mean, there was standing room only. You go in, you tell them what you wanted. So I'd be like, I want 30s, I want some Valium, sometimes I'd take orders from friends and I'd sell it to them what they wanted, like stuff that I didn't want. But you told him what you wanted, and he would have you bend over and he's running his hands down your back, and he'd be like, okay, that was your exam.
That's it. No extras or nothing?
Oh, I had to say,
MRI.
they did take your blood pressure. No.
Well, that's,
they
at least they took your blood pressure.
They took my blood pressure. Because if your blood pressure was over a certain amount, they wouldn't let you get them, because you know how it lowers your blood pressure. So, but yeah, that was the only thing.
And that's it. You just walk in, that's what you do, and
yeah, it was
here's
literally,
your script.
dude, it was like a drive-through. Like
you pay cash.
Well, you tell them you don't have insurance, even if you do.
Yeah.
And then I actually did use my insurance to pay for it. So, and then I just paid cash for the doctor fee.
What do they write you?
They wrote me for blues, probably like 60 blues. And then I would get different benzos. I wasn't a benzo girl, but I'd get them for other people, or I'd get them to sell. I just wanted my Oxy. That's like, Oxy was my first love.
Yeah.
That just give me that and I'm happy. So, I think I did get some Dilaudid sometimes too. I mean, you would just order what you wanted, like within reason of quantity, that he could get away with. And I remember, sitting in the waiting room one day, and this lady turned to me. We all know why we're there, right? And she asked me, she said, "Are you on the needle?" And I said, "No." And she said, "Don't ever get on the needle. Don't ever get on the needle, because you'll be addicted to that too." And like, I never forgot that. And I never did get on the needle. I got real fucking close, but I never forgot that lady telling me, "Don't ever get on the needle." Yeah, I'll never forget that. So I was doing the pill mill. I had Pappy. I had, the regular doctors were tapering off. I even let some doctors do some procedures on me that were probably like illegal. Like, I mean, I remember this one doctor I would see, and if I would let him put all these they were sort of like acupuncture needles in me, but he wasn't an acupuncturist. Then he would give me a prescription for some kind of narcotic. Or there was another doctor that if I let him inject Botox into my forehead for migraines,
yeah.
He would write me a prescription for Dilaudid that I could trade for Oxy. Like, but the things that we do,
And your husband has no idea?
No, because I'm sick and I have migraines.
He's trying to get help.
And since it had started out legitimate, because I did legitimately have migraines, and they were pretty bad. So, like, he knew they were legitimate. So why would he think they're not now?
Right.
And so I go like that for, probably a few years, but the money's starting to become an issue because the husband's noticing, like, this money is just disappearing.
Disappearing into thin air.
So, Pappy, you can pay Pappy other ways too. Like, so, and I, like, let me just say, I was hot as fuck. Like, I was hot as fuck because I'd lost all this weight because all I ate was pills, right?
Yeah.
And, and so, if I had to fuck Pappy from time to time, like, I mean, he was nice to me. What, I don't know, whatever.
So be it.
So be it.
What's the going rate? What's the exchange rate? So you
I
bang
get
him
like
once
like 3 blues.
for banging him one time?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, he treated me decent, and it's so here's the thing about selling my ass. So because now we're gonna really start crossing some lines. All those yets, you're never gonna do.
Yeah.
So I had this conversation with my husband. We finally had it out. Like, yes, let's just lay it all out. This is what's happening. This is where the money's going.
You told
this is
him.
what I'm doing. Well, he confronted me. Like, he
Okay.
eventually was like, what
What
is
the
happening?
fuck is happening?
Yeah. So like, I didn't really have a choice. And this is how twisted my brain was. My sick brain was at this point. I remember him telling me, like, I'm not going to let you have any more money. Like, you know how to make money. Like, go make some money of yourself. If you're going to have to do this, you make your own money. Let me tell you what I heard. What I heard him say was, oh, you know how to make money. You looking pretty good. Do something with that body. Go make some money with it. That is not what the pastor said to me. He was a pastor.
Right.
And my husband, he wasn't telling me to sell my ass, but 100% that's what I heard. That is what I heard.
Wow.
Yeah, because I'm fucking sick, dude. I'm sick.
And how does one go in the ass selling business?
Well,
You know what I mean?
so you go online and I can't remember which site it was. I know there was like Backpage and there was Craigslist.
Yeah.
It was one of those, and I personally didn't want to post, like, because there were some girls that would post their own pictures and stuff, but I was like, dude, I don't know, someone from the church is going to be on there, looking and find their pastors. Right. So I would find the ads of men looking and saying, this is what I'm looking for, and then I would answer those ads.
And what do the ads say? Like, you're looking for a friend? Like, what's the...
All kind of things. I mean, looking for company, looking for a pretty girl to take to dinner. And then you'd also get stuff like looking for a girl with pretty feet, or looking for a girl that'll
stuff.
shave my body, or like it's all kind of stuff. I was always looking for one that was regular because I felt like it'd be better to have like
Just
you see the
one-
same guy,
yeah.
or whatever, the same
Yeah.
3 guys or whatever. That's not how it started out. I'll tell you about the first guy. What I remember of it. So, the first ad I answered, I agreed to meet this guy. We met at like a 7-Eleven, and I just parked my car there. I got in his car. I know nothing about this guy. He drives me to his office, which is closed, but he's got keys to where he works. So we're just in this dark office building, and he wants to blow up, and I do it, and then he takes me back to 7-Eleven. He paid me, and there I go. It was gross.
Do you agree upon like money beforehand, or you have to wait till you see each other in person?
We did agree. Now, after a while, after I got some regulars, it was sort of like a sugar daddy type thing. Like, it was more like not such a, you give me this for this.
Yeah.
It was more like, you call me and I'll come, and like you take care of me and give me whatever, but we aren't there yet. So, I got a few regulars. I did get a foot guy. I did. He was a really nice guy, actually. He had a girlfriend, but she thought it was creepy. And so,
Just look at like your feet or something?
yeah. Oh, he was all about, I learned how to do things with my feet that I didn't
Like
know
a
you could
monkey?
do with your feet.
What
Yeah.
the fuck?
Yeah, dude.
Open a beer with her foot.
But he was a nice guy, though. That's important that they're a nice guy. Like, you
It
could
helps,
get,
I'm sure.
you
Yeah.
could get like somebody that beats the shit out of you,
Right.
So, now I'm still going to church. Still doing it on Vacation Bible School. I'm in the church band. Like, I'm doing the things. I'm not as reliable, like being on time, like those kinds of things. Because like, if I'm waiting for the dope man and he's around the corner, You know how that goes, you
I
know?
do. So what are your kids? What's your
Hour
husband
later.
like? How like because drugs take up a lot of time. How do you
I
like
know,
your kid?
right?
Your husband just taking care of all 3 kids while he's
Well, they're in school now.
okay.
So, and then with his job, it's not like he had set office hours, so he was flexible. He could pick up kids or take kids to school, like, um, and so, you know, it wasn't just me. And I mean, I did pick the kids up from school late sometimes. Like, you know, I was trying to be a mom. Like, I wanted to be a mom. I loved my kids. Like, you know, it's not that we don't love our kids.
No.
That's not what it is. It's not, it has nothing to do with
No.
love.
No.
You know, but I was really trying, like, as my world was getting smaller, as it does, and you know, bridges start burning, you start losing friends. Like, the one thing I really tried to hang on to, even up to the end, was my kids. Um, I mean, I became a pretty shitty, neglectful mom, but like, I was trying to hang on to that one thing and keep some normal in their lives. So while they're at school, I'm out working,
Working,
you
yeah.
know?
Does it mess it up intimately with your husband?
Oh yeah.
Hooking up with
Yeah,
other
but you
guys?
know what? You know how narcotics affect your sex drive?
Oh,
Like,
it
you don't want to
totally
fuck
fucks it up
anyway.
Yeah.
anyway. Yeah.
Like, honestly, like that poor man, like, I mean, like I caused so much harm. Like, I caused so much harm to that man. I broke that man. Yeah, I broke him. So we weren't being intimate at that point. And eventually, when he realized what I was doing, he didn't want to have sex with me anyway.
Yeah.
You know, he'd be like, "Are you pregnant? Is there, like, you know?" Well, you can't get pregnant when you're on that much narcotics, by the way. But he didn't know that. Um, so let's see, where are we? So I'm getting pills from all kind of different places. I'm selling my ass. Now I'm also starting to steal. Well, first I'm stealing from home, right? Like, I was selling our own shit, right? And like, I used to have nice jewelry and china and, like, you know, all the things, but
Sold it all.
yeah, little by little. You know, my husband had a saxophone and I stole it and pawned it for $700.
A
Ooh,
saxophone?
That's a
Dude,
come
yeah.
up.
Jeez, man.
Instruments are expensive, dude.
Golly.
I stole his class ring and sold, like, yeah, I mean, it was bad. Sold my kids' toys. Oh, stole my son's allowance multiple times.
Jesus.
To the point that he would come home and go to check his allowance and he'd look at me and go, "Mom." Like, that is some shady
Yeah,
shit.
that's fucked up.
It's so fucked up. And like, and I hate it. I'd be like, "I am so sorry. I'm going to pay you back." And you know, you mean it when you say it.
It's sad. You believe it, yeah.
You believe it, but it just never works out that way, right? I remember one time my husband took the boys on a Boy Scout trip and I had my little girl, and he gave me like $1,300 or something to take care of us for like the week or whatever it was. And I'm like, shit, you know, this is a shit ton of money. I can get a lot of pills with this. So I went and bought a shit ton of pills, kept like a couple $100, did a yard sale, sold some of my daughter's shit. Went to like Salvation Army and places like that to get food, because that money was also supposed to pay for food. So got food from like those kind of places.
Yeah.
Like, just crazy shit. So then, I mean, at that point, my husband is starting to try to protect the children from me. I mean, I hate to say that, but that's literally what it was. Protect the children from me. He cut off my internet on my phone. He locked the computers. He put stuff that he thought was valuable in the garage and locked the garage so I couldn't get in. Like, different things like that. He was really raising the kids himself, and I was more like starting to just check in at home, or I'd come home and sleep that night and then get up and work the next day. So at that point he was handling most everything, and I was just trying to show up for special things. I remember my last Christmas that I was still living at home with my husband and children. I had a customer, and I had all these sob stories, like, I'm a single mom and take care of my kids and I take care of my dad and like money. And
You tell these guys that?
Yes, that's why I have to do this. Like, I just don't have a choice, and and they eat it up, you know. And so this guy, one of my customers, he wanted to buy my kids Christmas presents. which was really cool. And we went to Walmart and he took me shopping. We bought all this shit for my kids. Went home, wrapped it, put it under the tree. Like in my mind, I'm like, I'm still going to be able to be a good mom. I've got presents to put under the tree. But what happens? Like, I'm broke.
Yes.
All right, so I'm just going to take a couple of them. And
return them.
And then just a couple more.
Yeah.
And then just a couple more. I haven't thought about asking my kids. I have a good relationship with my kids now. I should ask them. I think there probably were still a few presents under the tree they got to open from me. I don't know. Yeah, that was our last Christmas. My husband actually got me arrested on Christmas Eve. I had been Marchman acted. Do you know what that is?
Is it like 5150'd?
I don't know what that. Do you know what a Baker
Like
Act is?
No, is it where you get locked up for
72 hours?
Yeah.
So a Baker Act is for mental health,
Yeah.
but a Marchman Act for substance abuse.
Okay.
So my family, at this point, they all know what's going on. They had me Marchman Act like 3 times. I get so pissed. The cops would show up at my house, and I was like, "We are not doing this again," and then I get locked up in detox. So now I'm in the court system. So since I was in the court system and I was being drug tested, my husband called whoever he called at the courthouse, and he's like, she's actually using, I'm passing the drug test because I'm getting pissed from my dope man's son, who's like 3 or something like that. So I really believe that my husband, again, was trying to protect the kids so that I wouldn't be there for Christmas, honestly, and they wouldn't have to deal with the chaos that followed me everywhere. So I got arrested on Christmas Eve, so I spent Christmas in jail. That sucked. I remember they weren't clear on what the charges were because they were civil, because a Marchman Act is civil, it's not criminal, and so they couldn't understand why they had to arrest me and put me in jail. So they put me in an isolation room because they just weren't clear on if I was like suicidal or whatever. And of course I'm getting really dope sick. And like, I remember one of the COs saying like, "Hey, are you in withdrawals? If you are, we can like put you in the drug dorm." And I'm like, "I don't know what you're talking about. I'm fine. Like, I'm not a drug. Like, you're out of your mind."
Really? I would have been like, "Put me in the drug dorm."
No, because I didn't have a problem. Like, I could not, it was the fear. If I could ever have said to somebody, "I am lost, I am scared, I can't stop taking this stuff, it's all I know to do, and I don't think I can ever get off." If I could ever get past the fear of saying that, I probably would have gotten clean years before. But that was a terrifying thought. Terrifying. I had seen psychologists and therapists and counselors, they knew, everybody knew, and they tried to get me to tell them. And they were great people. Like, I know now, I could have been like, "I really have a problem and I need help and I don't know what to do." But I was terrified to tell anybody, "I have a problem. I'm scared. I don't know what to do. I don't think there's any answers. I'm hopeless." I was just too afraid to admit that. So I wouldn't say at the jail, like, "No, I'm not dope sick. I don't have a problem." So I just, toughed it out for 3 days on my own. And then they let me out again. And the court is starting to like tighten up on me, now they have to watch me piss in a cup, like things like that. And it's getting more difficult. We moved to another church because in the denomination we were in, you would move every few years to a different church. That's just how it went. So we moved to a different area. So when you're an addict and you've got a dope man, like, then you have to find a different dope man.
Yeah.
So like those first few months, I'm driving an hour and a half one way back to the old dope man until I can get a situation in the new place.
Right.
But of course, we find what we're looking for, right? If we're looking for drugs, we find the drugs. If we're looking for recovery, we find recovery, right? Well, I was looking for the drugs. So I don't even remember how I found. Oh, no, I do. I was that addict that would find a neighborhood that I thought looked like somebody might sell drugs there. And I'd just drive down there and be like, "Yo,
door
you
to
good?
door.
Yo, you got something?"
Yep.
Like, that's craziness.
I mean, that's what you do.
That's what you do, though. Yeah. So I found a guy that sold crack. I'm like, "I don't want that. This is what I want." Because I'm a picky addict. Like, don't offer me Dilaudid. That's some bullshit.
You're out of your mind.
I'm out of my mind.
I love Dilaudid.
I've heard if you shoot it up, it's better. And I wasn't on the needle.
That's correct.
Any hole.
Any hole.
Any hole, too. Dilaudid. Yeah.
I found a new guy eventually, and his name was Mac, and so I was getting my shit from Mac, still selling my ass, but not to Mac. But Mac, I remember one time, like, he was like, listen, I'll give you three blues, if you like go take care of my buddy. I was like, bet, dude. So like he would look out for his guys sometimes and give me pills, I guess he was a good friend, right?
He was a real good dude.
So eventually, there was Christmas, and my birthday was in February. So in February, on my birthday, like, this one chick, she smokes crack. She's like, I'm going to smoke you out for your birthday, which that wasn't really my thing, but like, what the fuck ever, and I'm taking the pills, drinking, like, I don't even know, I had a lot of shit in my system, and I had to get tested like that week. So like, I just blew everything up. Yeah, went to court, and the judge is like, this is it. She's like, you're gonna kill yourself. I'm sentencing you to first detox and then 60-day inpatient. I'm like, fuck. So I go in the court bathroom. Oh wait, there's cocaine. Hold on. So at Christmas time, there were no pills to be had, and I had to have something to not be sick, right? And Mac, he sold like everything. He was a one-stop shop. So I'm like, Mac, you got to give me something, like, I can't be sick. He's like, I got powder. I'm like, you're going to have to fucking show me how to use, like, because I was never going to use street drugs because I'm not a junkie, So here we are. I'm like, he literally had to like cut lines for me, like the whole deal, like, this is how you do it. So I had Coke as my backup.
Did that make you feel better?
It made me not sick.
Really?
Yeah, it helped me not be sick.
Normally it makes it fucking...
Yeah, I don't know. I've never tried
worse.
cocaine and withdrawal, but crack and withdrawal is fucking horrible.
Crack,
yeah.
meth, and cocaine during withdrawal normally send me into fucking hell.
Like
who knows? Maybe there was other shit in it.
There might.
I don't fucking know.
There might have been. Might have been caught with something else.
Yeah, who fucking knows? Yeah. It could have had heroin. I could have had anything in it. So I've got that. It's still not my first choice. It's just backup. And so at court, judge sentenced me 60 days inpatient. I'm like, can I go to the bathroom? They're like, yeah. So like, I'm snorting the last of the Coke that I have and like popping some Valium, and then like they take me, like that was that. That fucking sucked. So I was in like the county detox, which is pretty bare bones. And went through that for a week. Every time they had sent me to detox, and that the counselor or whatever they are, they try to talk to you. I don't have a problem. I don't know what you're talking about. I get my medicine from a doctor because I have legitimate health issues. Like, again, I couldn't just say, like, I really
You're still fighting it.
I'm still fighting it. Like, I just could not. And I really, in my heart of hearts, and this, I know this doesn't make sense, but I believed with everything in me that if I stopped taking the drugs, I believed I was too far gone and that I would be like a vegetable. I literally believed I would never be able to function as a human being and do human being things without the drugs. Like, it was just too late, which is a total lie. But I that's what I believed at the time.
How old are you?
By then, I am probably in my late 30s.
Okay.
Mid to late 30s, probably.
So you say married to this guy?
I'm still married to
You're
this
still
guy.
married to the guy.
Well, we're Christians. You don't get divorced.
You don't believe in divorce?
Yeah.
I was just going to ask you if he's ever one time said divorce card
He
at all.
never said that until he did.
Until he did, yes.
I mean, he fought for us. Like, it's not that he was perfect, but dude, I ruined him. I fucking, like, I still have more amends to make to that man. All right, so I'm in the lockdown detox. Then I go to the 60-day inpatient. And it's kind of like it's a house. It's a women's house, like a big house. But you're not actually locked down. I mean, legally I was locked down, but I could physically walk out. Y'all, like, I know women don't like women when we get clean. They're all bitches, but these really were bitches. Like, I'm just saying. And, they had their contraband coming in. They were climbing fences and fucking guys in the middle of the night. Like, it was,
wild.
So it was, I was the new kid, and it wasn't going well for me, to the point that I knew if I left, they would issue a bench warrant But it was that bad that I just was like, I can't. And at that point, I did have some desire to stay clean, not really for the right reasons, but I did, like, I had some willingness at some level. So I wasn't like, oh, I want to leave and go get high. Like, I was like gonna kind of try to give this a fair shake. So I walked out, and as I'm walking out, they're like, I have to call, they're gonna issue a bench warrant. I'm like, I fucking know. And Dope Man lived just right down the road. Why is it that these places are right by the Dope Man?
They always
They
are.
always are.
Always. It's always in a shit neighborhood.
Yes.
Yep.
So I walked to Mac's house, and Mac's like, hey, Kim. And I'm like, listen, I don't need anything. Like, this is how much I'm trying. I'm like, I don't need any shit. I need a ride. I need a ride to my house. And isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And so he got one of his buddies to drive me home. It was like 10 or 15 minutes away. And luckily, my husband wasn't there because he wouldn't have let me in. But my kids let me in. I knew I was on a timeline because the cops were going to come looking for me. The husband was going to come home. The kids are calling the husband. I'm grabbing like a few things, some clothes, some this and that. Found the keys to my car. Went and got my car. And as I'm pulling out, my husband's pulling in trying to block me. And I got out and I just left. I just started driving. I was like, let me just get out of the county. Let me get out of the county. So I drove south. We were living outside of Orlando. So that's where I'm driving south from like Orlando area. And like, I still want to make the effort, but I'm like, what do I fucking do? Well, I had been in treatment in a place near where I live now in Fort Pierce. I had been in treatment there once. And I was like, if I can just get there, maybe they can help me work it out and I won't have to go to jail and they'll take me in and I can try to do this thing. Now I did make a stop over to one of my sugar daddies because, like,
Got
One
to.
last
I mean,
hurrah.
he was close, so why not?
One last hurrah.
One last hurrah, right? And honestly, he was a really good fuck. So, so one night with him, and then I went to this treatment center I'd been to before, and I was just like, I'm desperate. Like, can you help me? This is the situation. And they were really great. Like, whatever they did, they called whoever legal people they needed to, I don't know, and got it set up so that I wasn't going to get arrested if I stayed at this facility. And so I tried. I was trying. I don't know if it was to the best of my ability, but there was effort there. There was some willingness. And I got called in by like someone from the administration, and they said, your insurance doesn't want to pay for, they only want to pay for like till this amount of time. And I needed to be there longer legally. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, I gotta go. Like, I don't, like, I couldn't even make myself wait till the day they said they would stop paying.
Mm-hmm.
It just triggered something in me. And I was like, I gotta go.
You just left?
I gotta go. I fucking, yeah, in fact, I called the sugar daddy because he didn't live far from there, and he came and got me. Yeah, I left. Like, it was just that feeling, that compulsion that we have. This time it wasn't a compulsion to use, but it was a compulsion that I just I couldn't escape. I had to go. And so he took me home with him. He's like, you can stay here for a little bit till you find a place. And by then, like, he knew what was going on too. And so I stayed with him for like a week. Now, I'm flying under the radar, so the cops aren't going to come find me because, like, they don't know there's no way for them to know where I'm at. You know, I'm just staying with this guy. And eventually he was like, yeah, you can't stay here. Like, you can't live here. You know, we don't have that kind of relationship. So, so I got in my car. Thank God I had a car, right? And I drove down to the Flying J, which is a truck stop. And I slept in my car. Now, I'm so sick. Again, here's one of my other twisted thoughts. I'm living in my car, right? And like having to like beg for money or fuck for money or whatever. And I'm not using like just to eat or whatever, right? But I am a bad bitch because I am taking care of myself. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're doing all right.
I don't need nobody's help. I'm taking care of me. Killing it. Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm not using, and I decide like I'm gonna check out some meetings. I first went to a few AA meetings. I I wasn't going a lot, but I was going often enough that people kind of got who I was, that I was homeless, I was living in my car. Um, and
People started to remember you.
yeah. Sometimes somebody might let me like sleep on their couch, use their shower, like, I kind of was forming some like little bit of relationships. Um, Still like selling my ass from I not all the time like I was when I was using, because obviously I didn't need nearly as much money if I wasn't using.
Sure.
But still doing that some. And then I started going to some NA meetings, because I went to an AA meeting and they're like, if you're an addict, you're not welcome type of thing. And I was like, fuck you.
That's bullshit.
I know, right?
Whoever said that is full of shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was fucked up. So I started going to some NA meetings, and I meet this guy. He works in treatment. He's got 8 years clean. And he offers, like often happens, like a group of us, we're going to go see a movie. We're going to go eat, whatever. We'll pay for you. Come on, So I'm like, okay, bet. So I went with them. We did the movie. We did the food. And he says to me afterwards, he says, listen, I've got some food at my house that I'm happy to give you. Like, I know what your situation is. I'll help you out. I was like, bet. By the time I get to his house, and how much would it be for you to stay and like take care of me?
That's what you were telling him?
No, that's what he was telling me.
Oh, okay.
He wanted to fuck me.
Yeah.
How much would I charge?
Jesus.
This is a guy with 8 years clean, in NA, working in treatment.
Yeah.
They're not, everybody in the program isn't, come on, man.
Yeah. But I didn't know this.
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
Yeah.
And so my normal was still selling my ass. So I was like, well, I mean, okay. So we did that, and I don't think he gave me food. I think that was that. But then that kind of affected how I saw NA for a while, because that was just the same as everybody else.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And he's still in the rooms in my area today. And he even told me at my 1 year how proud he was of me.
Yeah.
Fucking
Bet he was.
shit, right? No thanks to him. So you would think this was the end of my using, but it wasn't, because, I wasn't getting better. I was just not using. And so I'm still homeless. I end up going to this bar. It's starting to get hot. It's like March maybe of 2014. I go into this bar because it's air conditioned, and we're fucking Florida, dude. It's hot.
Yeah.
And the bartender feels sorry for me, gives me a beer, and she just refills it like for me the whole. She tells me how she felt sorry for me, And then I meet some guy at the bar, and like he takes me home for a few nights, and gets me really, really drunk and fucks me. I don't know. You could kind of argue rape, like I didn't want to fuck him, but whatever. He gave me a place to sleep, so. And then I meet the dope man, because what are we looking for? The dope man. So I meet the dope man at this bar, and he invites me to a party. He says, I want to invite you to a biker party. And I know nothing about bikers, zero. He's like, I'm going to invite you to a biker party. If you come, there'll be all the drugs and alcohol you want. It'll all be covered. I was like, bet. So I show up at this biker clubhouse, and they let me in, and he's there waiting for me. And now he's got to go do business, right? Because that's why he's there. He's got to go do business. So he introduces me to this one biker, and he's like, if I'm not around because I'm doing business,
kick it with him.
Yeah, kick it with him. His name is Hawk. So, like I focused on this one guy for he's going to protect me. He's going to keep me safe, because I still like need a man. I still need a man. And, we're partying. You can't, by the way, you can't do pills with bikers. You have to do like coke or meth or like something like that, because pills are not cool, because then you're a junkie. So we're doing coke and drinking, whatever. And he's like, hey, you want to go for a ride on my motorcycle? I was like, sure. So I go get on his motorcycle. I never left. I'm married to him today.
Wow.
That was in 2014. Yeah. So I never left. So, we partied for 3 years. I lived with him, like literally from the night that night I moved in with him. And it's funny because I really think the reason I stayed is he didn't put moves on me. For 3 days, I slept in his bed and he didn't touch me, which is crazy.
Yeah.
No, the fourth day was different. But you know what? I had a pretty low bar. My experience with guys, you don't touch me for 3 days. Like, oh, you're a pretty upstanding citizen.
Yeah.
Um.
So what happened to the pastor?
Oh well, I remember I was in the 60-day inpatient.
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed back in the house after that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he eventually did file for divorce. He just couldn't do it anymore. So yeah, I mean, once I left that
That was
situation,
it.
he wasn't letting me back in.
Okay.
He filed a restraining order or whatever. So that was done. So I'm not seeing my kids. I'm not talking to my kids. I'm like, that's all. Like I said, I grabbed stuff from my house. Like I grabbed whatever I could.
Yeah.
That was what I had. That was that. No communication with any of that. So I move in with the biker. And we partied for 3 years. And I mean, we partied. We got to the bar an hour before it opened, and the cleaning lady would make us Bloody Marys. We would close the bar and then carry the party back to his place every night. I had excellent credit because of my pastor husband. We took out a bunch of credit cards and we lived on that. Ruined my credit, ruined his credit, bought motorcycles, lived in a house that was being foreclosed on, but it took a really long time. So we were able to live there for quite a while. And we just did coke and drank and partied and did the biker thing. And I'm a chameleon. I can be a bad biker bitch. I can be a pastor's wife. I can be whatever you want me to be. So I got the clothes and the attitude. Inside, I'm just this scared, like, please let me not actually have to fight because I don't even know how to hit anybody. but I can look the part, I just can't follow through with it. I remember the bikers would be like, man, I wish my bitch would be like yours. Like, because I served my man. I brought him his beer. Like, he told me what to do and I did it. I was the ideal. Because I can do that. And we did a lot of crazy shit. We did a lot of illegal shit. We started we did the threesomes and the foursomes and the whatever. Anything goes. Because, like, my thing, if he wanted me to do something, I'd be like, baby, I'm not high enough yet. Well, let me go buy some more coke and get you high enough.
Right.
And then we'll do whatever the thing is that I want to do. So it was really transactional like that, but like I was on board. Like, if you give me enough, I will do the thing. There's always, if you give me enough, there's always I'll do it.
Sure.
And so we lived like that for about 3 years. I had very little contact with my kids. I never saw them. Every once in a while, rarely I would talk to them on the phone. It was too painful. There was so much pain associated with my kids. That was when they had a birthday or it was Christmas or Mother's Day. Hawk would know that I had to get extra fucked up that day so that I could just not feel all that pain. I just tried to be somebody else. I tried not to think about them, to be honest, because it hurt too bad. And fuck, that hurt. I remember the only times I could really talk about them was when I was so fucked up that I couldn't feel it. When you could talk about something that means a lot to you, but you're so fucked up that you don't feel those feelings. That's when I could talk about my kids.
And you get married to Hawk?
Well, not yet, but
you do.
I will. Yeah.
And you guys get sober together?
Yeah.
Jesus
really?
Christ.
Well, how's that?
It's coming.
How's that turn about?
So from 2014 to 2017, we partied.
Yeah.
2017, I'm feeling like I remember being so fucked up one night and saying to him, I can't keep living this way. And I'm either going to go to church or I'm going to go to NA. And I don't fucking know which one it is, but I'm going to change things and I'm going to do one of those two things. And I did get to that point. So April of 2017, that was our last run. It was for his birthday. It was just for a couple of days. And I remember thinking, I think I want to try to go to a meeting. We had a friend that we had used with in the past that I had heard was clean. And so I called her and I said, hey, are you still going to those meetings? And she was like, yeah, I've got 6 months clean. Like, do you want to go to a meeting? I'll meet you there, whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. So he and I agreed. We both agreed, like, we're done. We're done with this. We're going to go to a meeting. Like, we're going to do this together, right? Well, it didn't work out that way. But anyway.
Normally doesn't.
And it's a Friday night. Friday Night Live is the name of the meeting. So I go to Friday Night Live, meet her there, get my white key tag, which I had a shit ton of white key tags, but this was the last one I got. I got a white key tag. And in no way was I thinking like, oh, I'm never going to use again. Like that's just not a reality. I still can't imagine never using again, to tell you the truth. But this couple, they're like, hey, why don't you come out to dinner with us? We're going to like IHOP or something. And we don't have any food. We don't got money for rent. We don't have any money because we just used it all on that last run.
Right.
So I'm like, okay. So I go to dinner with these people. And then they tell me, when we go to leave, they're like, stop at this gas station, before you go home. And I stop and they want to put gas in my car. And I said, listen, I don't need, that's really nice of you, but I don't need you to put gas in my car. I have enough gas to get home. Sneaky son of a bitch. They're like, oh, we're not putting gas in your car so you can get home. We're putting it in your car so you can go to a meeting tomorrow. Yeah. Yep. I was like, fuck, right? But you know what? Thank God for that. Thank God for that, because I did go to a meeting the next day. And I went to a meeting the day after. I went to a meeting the day after. And I'm still not in my mind like, oh, I'm never going to use again and whatever. No, like I'm fucking hating my life right now. I'm fucking miserable.
It fucking sucks.
Yeah, I'm getting clear-headed. Like I'm looking at the wreckage of my life. Like, no. But I will say I would leave those meetings with just a little bit of hope. Like just enough to get me through like 24 hours to get to another meeting. Now Hawk is not going to meetings, but he's not using either. He's just an asshole. So I start going to meetings. I'm just hitting a meeting a day. They talk about the gift of desperation in the rooms. Like for me, the gift of desperation was that I finally said, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if this shit works, but I don't even care. I have no pride left. If you're going to tell me to push a penny down the road with my nose naked, I'll fucking do it. Like, right. If that's going to make me feel better, I don't even care anymore.
Yeah.
That surrender, like, it was a long time coming. But finally, I was like, I just don't care. Just tell me what to do. And so the couple that had put the gas in my car and taken me to dinner that first night, the wife, she pointed out at a meeting, like, you see that girl over there? Like, she'd probably make a good sponsor. Well, I didn't know how this shit worked because I'd never done it before. We're at a fucking dinner, like a taco night dinner, whatever. I walked up to this chick who I've never met, and I was like, hey, will you be my sponsor? And she's like, who the fuck are you? Like, I mean, because it doesn't work like that, apparently. Right. So I was like, I'm Kim. Like, so-and-so just told me, like, you'd be a good sponsor. I need a sponsor. Will you be my sponsor? Of course, she's like, call me every day for 30 days. I'm like, okay. She did end up being my sponsor. And I did the things they told me to do. I was going to meetings and... you got to do the steps and you got to, I did the things like, cause that gift of desperation, like it wasn't there for just a couple of days and left. No, like it was there. I was broken. I was so broken. And at home, things are also really hard because Hawk is not using.
So he's dry.
He's dry.
Yeah.
And so he's angry. He's
Yeah.
really angry.
Irritable as shit.
Yes. So it's like, I come home from a meeting. Who are you fucking? Who are you getting high with at the meeting? I remember this one time leaving to go to a meeting, and he threw a knife at me. And luckily it hit the door instead of me as I was going out. I remember calling my sponsor and being like, he just threw a knife at me for trying to go to a meeting, right? Yeah. And we laugh about it now, but it was bad back then. And it was that whole first year, it was rough. Like, I cried at every meeting. Home was miserable. It's not like you instantly get a relationship with all these people that are not haven't been in your life.
Right.
I wasn't allowed to see my sister. I wasn't allowed to have her phone number, her address, know where she worked. I didn't have contact with my kids. I didn't really want contact with my parents because I didn't want them to see the mess that my life had become. So I'm crying at every meeting. I remember getting my 90-day key tag and bawling my eyes out and saying, like, I didn't know it was possible to not use for 90 days. Like that one really hit me. Like, I literally have not put something in my body for 90 days. How is that even possible? And I remember at 6 months being like, I'm fucking ready to be a mom. Like, I got my shit together. Like, I'm going to go to the court and I'm going to give
I'm good now.
I'm good now. Fuck. Thank God they didn't give me my kids. I was a disaster at 6 months. I mean,
Isn't that funny? You think you're fucking hot shit.
Yeah.
At a year, I thought I was hot shit. My sponsor was like, "Oh no, no,
not even close."
Not even close.
Yeah. So, but I did start, there was a lot of hoops I had to jump through. So I did start doing some of those things. I had to see a psychologist, and I had to start doing the hair follicle drug test. And so I did start doing those preliminary things that I needed to do. And that's good. I got my 1 year. And I remember somebody after I shared for, they let you share when you get your medallion. And then some other people got to share. I remember this one guy raised his hand. He was like, you have cried at every fucking meeting I've seen you at for the last year. I'm like, yep, you're right. You're right. Because they say pain shared is pain lessened. And dude, I came in with a shitload of pain. And I'm a big believer in that. You know what? You come to a meeting, you put that shit out there. Like, I don't care. Hawk is still not using to this day.
Well, that's good.
I did learn that you don't have to do things my way. Because I thought my way was the right way, which is what got me where I ended up.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, right.
So, once I got into the rooms, I was like, well, this is my way and this is how you have to do it. And we had a lot of problems.
I had an issue with that myself.
Did you?
For a couple of years, yeah.
It worked
my
for me.
way or the fucking highway, motherfuckers.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of fights about that, and I finally learned, my way is not the only way. And for that matter, your recovery is not my fucking business.
Right.
You do you. And I also learned, if I don't like what you're doing, I can fucking leave. In active addiction, I couldn't leave because I needed what somebody had.
Yep.
I had to be with people I may not like that may treat me like shit because they had what I needed.
Right.
Bitch, I can fucking leave anytime I want to.
Yeah.
I don't have to stay. If I stay, it's my own choice. And then who am I going to bitch at? Well, that's all me.
Yeah.
So that was 2017. I got clean. And so it's so fucking crazy. In April, I celebrated nine fucking years.
That's wild.
Who thought that somebody cannot
That's
use
wild.
for 9 years?
Good for you.
It's. I literally sometimes think maybe I need to kind of review my life and make sure I didn't get high somewhere in there. Because how is it fucking possible?
You missed one,
right? I missed one.
Yeah.
I forgot, right? But no, I haven't gotten a high in 9 years, and my life is not perfect. But it is a life beyond my wildest dreams. I'll tell you that fucking much. I'm a homeowner. That's fucking crazy. It's not a mansion. It's not amazing. It was built in 1973. It needs a lot of work, but it's my fucking house.
Mm-hmm.
I've also gotten to learn who I am. You know, my mother, when I first got clean, she's like, oh, I got my daughter back. But you know what? She didn't really, because I will never be that person that I was.
No, you're not the same at all.
But I don't
You're
want to
a
be.
better version.
Yeah, I don't want to be the person
Yeah.
that I was. I want to keep growing. I want to learn
Right.
the areas that I need to work on and keep working on them. You know, I want to get better. And I want to learn what I like to do, because for so long, I liked whatever you liked. I liked the
Yeah.
foods that you liked.
Yeah.
I liked motorcycles, or I liked church, or I liked whatever the guy I was with liked to do.
Yeah.
You know? So, and I'm still learning what I like to do. Dude, I fucking got chickens. Now, I'm not a farm girl. I didn't grow up a farm girl. But you know what? Like around, was it COVID? When eggs were so fucking expensive. And I went to the grocery store one day and I was like, fuck if I'm paying that much for eggs. I'm getting chickens. Got me some fucking chickens, y'all. They live in my backyard.
That's funny.
I fucking love them. That shit's as therapeutic as fuck. Because you go sit in the backyard and you just watch these chickens just going around doing
Yep.
chicken things. And you're just like, fuck, like, you just decompress.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What suggestion would you give to the person that's still out there getting high, sick and struggling?
I think I would say that there is hope. Look for the hope. Well, even if it's just this fucking big, look for the hope. Because hope is what got me to take that first step. And there is hope. And I believe in you, because if I can get clean, anybody can get clean.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Congrats on 9 years.
Thank you.
It's huge. It's
And thanks for
huge.
coming from Florida, man.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well,
we appreciate you.
I
a lot
appreciate
of
you.
a lot of people are gonna appreciate your story. So
Thanks.
thank you so much for coming out.